Hey guys, it's me again, nerdcaveph. Welcome to 2018. Now here's my first video of the year. We're going to look at the Vernee Mix 2 smartphone. It is quite surprising that this only costs under $200. Now let's see if this phone can compete with the vast competition of modern smartphones and if it's worth your money. Anyway, if you like this phone, I'll drop a link on the description on where to buy this, and with that said, let us begin. The packaging is basic, nothing seems to be over the top. It's just a simple design layout, and at the back you'll see the specs, but we'll get more on that later. So opening it up, you get the phone itself, but let's put it aside for a moment and let's see what else are included. Now here's the micro USB charging cable, and here is the plug which supports a Qualcomm quick charge, which will juice up your phone from 0 to 100 in just an hour and a half. They also included a screen protector for the front and at the back, and here's a transparent silicone case and a SIM card ejector pin. Now here's the phone itself. You'll be surprised of how sleek and premium it feels in the hands. It has both glass materials on the front and at the back, so it's quite prone on getting scratches easily, so I highly advise you to use the silicone case included in the package. The screen has an 18:9 ratio like all other flagships that's released recently like the LG V30. The screen gets bright enough if you're using it outdoors, and also the viewing angles are great, and there's no color shifting, and it gets really dark if you want to. And also you have the option to turn on the night mode to prevent straining your eyes. Now let's get into the specs. It's rocking a 6 inches 2160 by 1080p Full HD display, a Helio P4 Octa-Core processor, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of internal memory, which can be expanded via microSD up to 128 gigs. It has a dual camera on the back. One is 13 megapixel with 2.0 aperture, and the other one is a 5 megapixel camera which has a digital zoom feature. And at the front, you'll have an 8 megapixel selfie camera. It also supports dual SIM cards, and it's currently running on Android 7.0 Nougat. I have no information if they'll be updating to the 8.0 Oreo, but I'm really hoping that they do. And one thing that really gets me excited for this phone is its massive 4200 mAh battery. It's really surprising of how they were able to fit a big battery in a small body frame like on this one. It weighs around 195 grams, and it's because of the battery that justifies how heavy and thick it is compared to the other phones. It measures around 7.6 millimeters thick, and personally I don't mind its thickness if I'm getting a better battery in return. It's a trade-off I'm willing to compromise. The fingerprint scanner is quick, but sometimes my finger won't register for some reason, and I had to try several times before it gets through. Though it's fast to respond, it takes a second to load the screen, unlike the OnePlus 5T, which loads the screen instantly. Taking a look around on the phone, on its right sits the volume control, and at the bottom is the sleep button, and it serves as a power button as well. And on the left side, you have the SIM card tray and the SD card expansion slot. At the top, you'll see the headphone jack, and at the bottom, you'll see the charging port and the speaker. It's worth mentioning that the only right side of the speaker is functioning, and the other one is just for aesthetics to make it look symmetrical. The speaker is average in comparison, and it gets loud, but when I set it on max volume, you'll hear a slight distortion, but it's fine if you're using a headphone anyway. Here's a quick sound test. I'm really glad that the UI is almost stock Android. It's clean and there's no bloatware installed, and I recommend to install the Nova Launcher to tweak the user interface to your liking. You also have the option to change the arrangement of the buttons if you prefer. You can relocate the back button to the left, which I personally use because I was accustomed to that orientation just like in my LG G6. Now at the back, there's a subtle Vernee Mix logo at the bottom, and there's your dual camera at the top. The camera is okay, it is sharp and crisp. The color is a bit flat, but I do wish that the second camera is an ultra-wide because I almost never use a zoom lens anyway, so it's a bit of a disappointment. They also have a manual mode to make your shot more flexible, and they also include several filters to make your pictures look more creative and add some personality. Like this face beauty option, which will give your image a pinkish glow, and this interesting blur effect, which only blur the center of the image, like so. The front camera here is awkwardly positioned at the bottom right, which will give you a weird angle when you're taking selfies. And if you're right-handed, chances are you will block the camera. So I suggest to rotate the phone just like so to create a more natural and a better angle image perspective. The video quality is not bad either. The quality is also a bit flat, but the details are remained without too much internal color processing. I just hope that they included an optical stabilization, but that's just asking for too much. Now I did mention that this has a massive battery, and it lasted me around 4 hours of screen time of heavy use, and it will take you more than a day if you're just using it normally. Gaming on this device is impressive, however sometimes there's a little bit of stuttering, but it was very minimal and you barely even notice it. You can run heavy games on this phone without having any problems. Everything will run smoothly, though it can get warm on the hands because of its glass material, but not to the point that it gets uncomfortable. Overall, I think this is a very competitive phone, given the specs it has, its design and build quality, and overall performance. This is a great phone for general use, and I can easily recommend this to anyone. For just under $200, it packs a lot of features, and it's surprising to know that cheap phones right now are getting better, and the difference between this to the other expensive flagships are getting closer and closer each time. It has an 18:9 ratio, it has bezel-less design, and the specs are impressive for its price. What more can you ask for? Now this wraps up my review for the phone, and if you like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more tech reviews like this one. And if you have any more questions, feel free to ask me down below at the comment section. And that's about it. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you on the next one.